All right. The best football team in Virginia is in a bowl game for the CFP. Kev, you can't deny it. I'm sorry, man. They made the CFP. They're the best team in Virginia. Now, that being said, wowza, look at that spread. This is going to be a night game, too. They'll be playing Outson Stadium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sure when we post this to Oregon's Reddit page
We've
that they'll
gotten
correct my
flamed for
grammar.
saying it wrong before, and I can't remember. I don't think it's Outson. I don't think the emphasis is
Outson,
on that. I think it's like
Autzen
Owlson.
in Autzen in Eugene, Oregon. Great town. Love it there and all that, as we all know. But the over under in this one is 49.5. I thought that was shockingly low. I really did, but here we go. We got to talk about this one. Lanning, the man likes to make statements. You good?
Yeah, no, I was just doing my Lanning impression
Oh, okay, my bad.
after beating Penn State. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, no. One thing we know about that guy is when he is expected to win definitively, he covers. I got a one this year. Their record this year against non-conference team is 3-0, and that score differential was 169 to 23, man. Hell of a difference. We also got to look at this. Oregon has to be feeling good. I wasn't going to bring this up in the last game that we talked about, but at the end of their season, they beat some pretty good opponents. USC, Iowa, Washington. They really came back from that throttling that they had against Indiana. And look, I know you can't say that Oregon has probably had the most impressive resume, but when they are expected to win, they do come out shooting. And Decorian Moore, he's going to be playing again this weekend. And so is the one other defensive player. I forget his name, and I'm sure somebody will cook me in the Reddit comments. That's
Jaden
fine.
Kennedy or Tetium Tiopti?
Yeah, one of those. Yes. And you combine Decorian Moore, Kenyon Sadiq, and then you have a healthy Dante Moore, who's going to be just running up and down the field, too. He's a very mobile quarterback who can keep his head on a swivel, as we both know. It's going to be tough for the Dukes to contain this. Kev, what do you got?
Look, the path is hard. The path is there. All right. I mean, JMU does have a great run defense. It's always tough when you're comparing, because you're comparing apples to oranges in level of opponents, and then
Yep.
two, this is not like a regular season game. If these two teams played, you're going to be getting the full might of Oregon. It's a tough one. One thing JMU has going for them, they did play last week. They're not going to be as rusty, perhaps. Let's see.
Sure.
I did have a couple things. So JMU does a lot better on defense getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down. Oregon, if there is a place where their defense, which they do have a great defense, is slightly lackluster, opponents convert 2 out of 3 4th downs against Oregon on average. Almost 4 out of 10 3rd downs. So, JMU, they're a run-heavy team, which is going to be tough going against the number 20th ranked rush defense. Say you call a couple good counters, a couple pitches, a couple draws up the middle that gets you ahead of the sticks. I think that's going to be the name of the game, ahead of the sticks, and you'll need a lot of luck. That's to win the
I
game.
love the football cliches. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But
Are
hey,
you good?
I mean, you go ahead, reveal my pick. I am picking because I want to see close games. There's nothing better than when we pick an upset or we pick the underdog to cover the spread and it's halftime and they might upset. That's such a good feeling. I'm chasing that. I do have the under because I could see this being a 35-7 game. I could see it being a blowout, but yeah, I see you got over.
Turnover on downs in overtime, by the way. Seattle's got the ball back. Yeah, there's 7 minutes left in first OT. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, and I'm leaning completely opposite of you, Kev. A lot of this does also factor into me that there's a lot of travel involved for the Dukes here. And it's not something that they're going to be necessarily used to, so to speak. Hey, but maybe it'll give a little bit of a taste for a lot of those JMU players who are thinking of following Bobby Chesney, what traveling to the West Coast is like. But and then I do just think that Corey Moore coming back is going to give a lot of help. I don't know if it's 100%. It looks like he was practicing 3 days ago, so all signs are pointing to yes. And Dan Lanning's just record, and I think his tenure in these big game opportunities says a lot more than what JMU has. Look, JMU has had such a Cinderella story with the last 5 years, coming from an FCS team into the Sun Belt, having Mr. Kirk Signetti bring him to the top of the Sun Belt, and continued success with Bob Chesney. Who knows what their future is like, but at some point you got to just come back down to earth, and I think that happens with this game. So I'm taking Oregon to cover, and the over, just because if Oregon's going to cover, that's already going to get me pretty much halfway there, and I don't think it's going to be like a completely scoreless blowout. I think JMU still manages to get points on the board. I just do think I could see it being like something, I don't know, like 30, I'm just thinking out loud here, 38 to 14 game, so to speak. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. And I'm going to be excited to watch this one. I think it'll be a good end to see it. Yeah, nah, I'm good on that. What else you got, Kev?
I mean, JMU's had the magic happen the last 3 weeks. I mean, they needed 3 weeks ago, they needed some losses to happen just to get that Virginia Duke ACC championship matchup. And
Yeah.
then once they got that, they needed Duke to win, went to overtime. They still got it. Like, they got a little bit of magic with them. I think they are truly a Cinderella story. We'll just see if it is midnight for this team or if they will live to fight another round. It would be, I do hope at some point we get an upset, like, a true Power 5,
Yeah.
Power 4 conference team loses. That would be so great. I don't know if we're gonna get it this year,
The
but
the
yeah.
problem I'm starting to think about that, Kev, is like with all the Power 4 conferences cannibalizing the teams that are looking good, that's what makes it less likely in my mind. Like I agree that with the NIL and CFP and transfer portal, this is the era in which for it to happen, but it's just a matter of whether or not those teams are still a group of five when that upset happens, I think. But that being said, yeah, it's going to be a good game. You got anything else to add on that?
No,
No. Okay.
looking
Well,
forward.
I should say this to all of our friends who are Duke graduates. I do apologize that I'm not riding with you. I was rooting for you guys to get here, and I'm happy that you did. I think to have been in the CFP itself is awesome, but I do think it ends here. That being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it this way into the entire video, you are the real ones. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mrs. Osborne. And, you know, be sure to like and subscribe if you like what me and Kev are putting out. Puka Nakua touchdown in overtime. And that being said, if you guys want us to cover any college basketball program, please make sure to comment that. And we are going to get that going starting next week. It's looking like it's going to be an exciting college basketball season just from the games that me and Kev have started watching. So like and subscribe, and thank you all so much.